It has happened. The Boston Red Sox are acquiring pitcher Garrett Crochet, the starter from the Chicago White Sox 2024 All-Star, is coming to Boston. Let's get right into it. This is not a fully official move yet. It's in the medical phase as they're reviewing, but this is Jeff Passan. His Twitter bio, his X bio is I bomb, atomically. This guy is the guy that everybody goes to for their baseball transaction news. It's free agency time. The winter meetings in Dallas are underway, and the Red Sox have made their first big move. They're going to get this starting pitcher, all-star caliber guy. You can read away at this tweet here. Right now, the Boston Red Sox are expected to be sending back some of their top farm system players. They have one of the deepest, whether it's one of the big three in Kyle Teal, Roman Anthony, and Marcelo Mayer. We'll find out. A few days ago, Marcelo Mayer was in rumors to be available from the Red Sox, so we'll see as things develop. But this has just broken 8 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago. Jeff Passan has just sent these posts out on X. This is huge news, and so why don't we just take a look? I got to get to the reaction side of this thing. So this has been something that we've talked about on the channel between Houston and I for months, seemingly. This was first brought up at the trade deadline that the Red Sox might be interested in bringing in Garrett Crochet, and now we've seen it happen. This is happening. The Boston Red Sox, unless something holds this deal up, we've seen it in the past in the Mookie Betts trade in 2019. During that offseason, the Red Sox were initially going to be acquiring Brusdar Graterol, who then went to the Dodgers from the Twins. But what ended up happening is the Red Sox were unhappy with his medical performance, so instead, the Twins just sent him to the Dodgers. Red Sox kind of ate up on that one, and then the trade eventually went through. So the chances that this thing falls through are, it's possible, but right now, according to Passan, this is what's going on, and we're going to be acting as if this is what we have so far. So these are the facts we know. We're going to get into the contract situation here as well, but first, let's just take a look at the Red Sox contract. So this is, before we get into that, this is Garrett Crochet's current contract. He is set to be a free agent unrestricted in 2027. He's only 26 starting in 2025. He's currently making $2.9 million a year. This is a general estimate as he's going through arbitration this year and then arbitration again next year. So with a team like the Red Sox who have money to spend going and getting a young player like this, I expect, and I think a lot of people would expect the move to be the Red Sox are going to try and extend him for as long as they can, saying, this guy's our ace. And we're going to talk about why he will be the Red Sox ace for the next season, unless another move comes in after this video's made. So his current contract right there, the Red Sox have control of him at least through 2026, and then 2027, he's an unrestricted free agent. He can test the market, no arbitration there. And the way the arbitration process works, you go to a neutral arbiter, unless the team and the player can agree on terms beforehand, and then that third party hears both arguments. They basically go to court. That's what happens, and then they decide one way or another. So that's his contract situation. Why don't we take a look at the Red Sox current starting pitching situation? These are all the players on contract through 2025 or going through arbitration. So it's kind of hard to see. There's a bunch of pre-arbitration guys, and then the arbitration ones are Kutter Crawford and Tanner Houck, both of which I would expect to return to the Red Sox. They are going to be nearing their age 30 season in 2025, but Lucas Giolito's here. He's through 2025. Garrett Whitlock signed through 2025. Same thing with Brayan Bello, who got that long extension. So you've got at least those three, if healthy, at the top. Garrett Whitlock, there have been rumors about him moving back to the bullpen. We'll see what happens as time goes along. Spring training will reach in a couple months, and we'll see how this Red Sox rotation and pitching staff develops. But then you've got a bunch of names down low, a bunch of guys who've barely pitched at the major league level or have never pitched at the major league level. And then you've got Quinn Priester, who the Red Sox traded for at the deadline, Kutter Crawford, who had a great start to the season and then ended up giving up the most home runs in the major leagues last season, and then Tanner Houck, who was a bona fide ace and all-star last year for the Red Sox. So he was who the Red Sox were really hoping would turn into that ace, and then he just kind of fell back to like a 2 or 3 level guy. But again, he still has that ace potential. He's got some of the best stuff in all of baseball, great slider. So the contract situation here, excluding Garrett Crochet, is pretty strong, I think. The Red Sox have a great chance to lock up their pitching staff for the next few years, which is really the biggest thing that everybody's been talking about. All of the fans on X have been saying, we need starting pitching. We want it. Go get it. because there's been a lot of talk about Alex Bregman, but the Red Sox do it here with a trade going to get Garrett Crochet. This is the money situation. They clearly have the money available right now based on these contracts. This is not including the position players, mind you. Trevor Story still got a $20 million plus contract for a few years. Devers is extended forever with a $20 million plus contract. And there are a few names on there as well that will need to be extended or in those conversations, Jarren Duran to name one. But now that we've talked about all that, what about Garrett Crochet makes him an ace? Why should we be so excited about this as Red Sox fans? Well, this is his Baseball Savant page as of last season, and he has had injury history in the past, and he also started as a closer/reliever with the Chicago White Sox for the first few years in his career. But as a full-time starter last season, he was all in the red on Baseball Savant. And for those who don't know, these are based on percentiles. The higher the number, the better. The red is great, the blue is bad, and everything else is in between. And he's got a lot of red, like ace-level red. The only blue spots here are the breaking run value and the barrel percentage, and those things would only worry me if he was giving up a lot of home runs or a lot of hard hit contact, which he really wasn't. Not only was his expected earned run average a 285, which is the 91st percentile of all of baseball, his expected batting average is really low too. He's got a really good walk rate and K rate. If you have great walk and K rate, so you're not walking guys and you're striking guys out, and you're not expected to give up hits based on that expected batting average, those are the three things, according to Baseball Savant, to me, that make up an ace-level pitcher. This guy throws hard. He's got nasty stuff, too. That's what makes him so exceptional, and he did this for a full season last year. So let's take a look at the more traditional statistics. Look at his baseball reference page. Bring this up here. Again, he's very young and has not pitched a ton at the big league level, but he started 32 games, pitched 54 as a reliever and closer for the White Sox in 2021, came up in 2020, barely played, and then in 2022 he was out with an injury, and in 2023, again, came in as a reliever, but last year he showed this guy is an elite starter. He can play, and he played a consistent amount of baseball, pitching 146 innings. I know for some that's just not a lot, and that's the way that baseball is moving right now, where pitchers are only going 4 or 5 innings. Garrett Crochet can do that, and he can do it better than pretty much anyone, or at the same level as those who are better than him. So this is really exciting for Red Sox fans because Garrett Crochet has potential to get even better. He's young, and he's just shown to baseball last season and throughout his career, he's been consistently great. Straight up. Every single year that he's qualified, his ERA plus is above average and usually well above average. And he's also walked barely anybody. He walked 33 guys and struck out 209. That reminds me of a former left-handed pitcher that we traded for from the White Sox named Chris Sale. And if you remember how that worked out, they won a World Series with him, and for a few years there, he was the best besides Jacob deGrom in all of the American League. The immaculate innings, the incredible finish to the World Series in 2018 where he just put himself in the game, and AC went, all right, I guess he's doing that. Yeah, send him out there. He didn't say send him out there. Chris Sale said that. And to have a guy who you can draw comparisons to him, and he's so much younger, you're getting a lot more of Garrett Crochet if the Red Sox extend him. That's really exciting. This is a big-time move, and fans and publicly saying that they've been waiting for the Red Sox to do this kind of thing. Jeff Passan just said earlier today, or maybe it was yesterday, that his team to watch in the offseason is going to be the Boston Red Sox because they have money to spend. They show that they want to. They whiffed on Juan Soto. They missed out on Max Fried. They get their guy with Garrett Crochet, and that is super exciting for all people donning this logo on their caps, their shirts, their apparel. It is huge for Boston to be making this kind of move because now the fans can finally see, holy cow, and then the response will be, what did we give up? So right now that information is unclear, but that's what I got for you today, at least so far. We'll see if any more news breaks. The Boston Red Sox have made their first big move of the offseason, going to get Garrett Crochet. the all-star ace caliber pitcher from the Chicago White Sox that we have been talking about on this channel for months. It's finally happened. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest Red Sox reports, rumors, and moves. It is the heart of the offseason. This is when things are really starting to burn up on that hot stove. Thanks for watching. I'm Evan Sharrard saying so long and go Red Sox.